So that illumination has brought us to book 2 now. Let us see how far we can proceed with that. It's a mighty book, a tremendous book, unparalleled in its composition and description, absolutely unparalleled. He took enormous pain in composing this book, writing and rewriting these things. You see. But as I said, much of it had taken its final form, its final shape between 43 and 44, you see, about that time of this book. And he had written the entire book in his own handwriting, you see, completely. So this book has 15 cantos. This book has 15 cantos in all, 54 sections. 54 sections, 1639 sentences, 7097 lines. 7097 lines in all, or roughly 53,000 words. The total number of words in this book is 53,000 words. 1639 sentences, you see, and on average, each sentence is 4 lines, you see. So you can get the idea of the number of lines also immediately from that. And each line roughly contains 8 words, roughly. So you can get from that the idea of the total number of words also in the whole thing, you see. I have already sent you this one, so you have got that data. Now, there is also this chart for the entire book, number of lines per canto, number of sections and all that thing. This is all right, is a rough chart. There are like a couple of errors in this one, but then it will give you a general idea. See. I will not entirely go by this chart, but it gives you an overall idea. See. Actually, this was the first time we had prepared the statistics of this entire Savitri in 2012, 7 years ago, you see. So at that time, the first statistics was this one, you see. But now, the computerized statistics is what I am giving you separately, you see. The book of the traveler of the worlds. What a mighty name also, you see, traveler of the worlds, you see. Now, in a rough manner of speaking, if you had to draw a kind of a comparison between the traditional poetry in Sanskrit, ancient Sanskrit. See, each one constitutes what is called a Purana. For instance, there is a Vishnu Purana, there is Bhagavad Purana, there is Garud Purana. Like that, there were a number of Puranas which were written, about 18 Puranas are supposed to be the most prominent Puranas, you see. Now, they describe all the aspects of creation, manifestation, and future, and all the worlds and everything is described there in the Puranas. You see, for instance, Vishnu Purana describes in great detail the various worlds which occur in different places. what we call Sapta Loka and Sapta Patala, the seven nether worlds and seven higher worlds. You see. So all these 14 lokas are described in the Puranas in a great manner. You see. So as if Shivanu is following the Puranic tradition to describe all the worlds in Savitri. The tradition of describing all the worlds, the lower world and the higher world, that is the description we have in the Purana, the creation of space and time and the manifestation in the cosmos. That is what the Puranic subject is there. So in a certain sense, this whole book belongs to the Puranic tradition, but Puranic tradition in a very different manner altogether. The Puranic knowledge is very deep and intimate and quite accurate knowledge also of all the world. You see, describing all the seven lokas up and seven lokas down and their characters and their beings who are there and what they do and what kind of things are there, the whole description is there in the Purana. So, the book of the traveler of the world in that sense really formed a kind of a mythological basis for considering Savitri as a Purana. If you want to consider Savitri as a Purana, then there is a kind of a justification on that basis, you see. Now, the book about the traveler of the world, so he has already introduced the idea of the worlds in the earlier section. In the earlier section, we have, in the previous section, in the last canto, 24.4. Ascending and descending to its life's pole, the serried kingdom to the graded law, plunged from the everlasting into time. Then, glad of a glory of multitudinous mind, and rich with life's adventure and delight, and packed with the beauty of matter's shapes and hues, climbed back from time into undying self, up a golden ladder carrying the soul, up a golden ladder carrying the soul, tying with diamond thread the spirit's extreme of spirit and matter. They are tied with the diamond thread. And on this up a golden ladder, he says a golden ladder. And the soul is climbing this golden ladder. So the traveler of the world is really climbing up on this golden ladder up here. Now here, basically it is climbing up. Now although the beginning is ascending and descending. Ascending is what we are going to see here. Descending is the process of involution. Descending is the process of involution. How grade after grade came down into the inconscience and vanished into nothing, you see. That is the descending part of the thing. Now, ascending is the golden ladder on which the soul is climbing up. So, you see, we are fortunate, we are happy, we are lucky, we are glad that the ladder which is available for us is a golden ladder. It is for us to enjoy, to climb it up, go peak above peak and reach the top of it, you see. Golden ladder. And then he says, in this drop from consciousness to consciousness, see, now ladder is all different planes of consciousness, different grades of consciousness. Each step of the ladder is a consciousness, is a stadia, is a loka, is a world by itself. Each drop, in the drop from consciousness to consciousness, each lane on the occult inconscience power. See, that is the important thing. That is the greatness of inconscience. The fountain of his needed ignorance. What a phrase, needed ignorance. Nothing is superfluous in this creation. Archmason of the limits by which it lives. In the soul, from consciousness to consciousness, each lifted tops to that from which it came. Origin of all that it had ever been, and home found that it could still become. Now, as I have been saying, this is a ladder. It is not that you have only one ladder. There is the ascending ladder, there is the descending ladder, and they are different ladders. There is an escalator to go up, there is an escalator also to come down. They are not absolutely parallel or mirror images of that. Each escalator has its own character and uniqueness. This escalator is not the same as this escalator going down, you see. The escalator going down takes you to a different way to the bottom. The escalator going up takes you on a different way altogether, you see. So these ladders are not mirror images, they are not parallel that you could as you dispense of one of them. Both of them are separate entities by themselves. And as I said earlier also, the climbing ladder, the higher reaching planes, has an extra element which is absent in the descending ladder. In the ladder climbing up, there is at every important step, you have the incarnation, you have the appearance of the Divine Himself here. The Divine comes here as an avatar. The avatarhood is characteristic of the climbing ladder. It is not there at all in the descending ladder, you see. The avatarhood is not there. See, avatar comes here, takes a special birth to lift you up the golden ladder. You see, you are not simply mechanically going up. He comes, he prepares the ground, he prepares the ground, he prepares the ground and takes you up like that. You see, that is the characteristic of the climbing ladder, which is not there at all in the other ladder, you see. The other ladder is only climbing down, coming down, distance specialis, as they call it, as Dante's phrase says, distance specialis. It is a facile kind of a descent, easy descent into this one. That phrase, distance specialis, arises in Divine Comedy of Dante, you see. Now, it is that kind of an evolutionary ladder, whereas on the evolutionary scale, at every stage there is the appearance of the avatar, and it is he who carries the consciousness onward, upward, like that. So, there is a distinction between the escalator climbing up and the escalator coming down, you see. They are not the same exactly, you see. Now, with that distinction, we can now proceed with the World-Stair, the World-Stair. See, he has already introduced the double ladder, climbing down and climbing up. Now, the description is pertaining to specifically the World-Stair, climbing ladder, basically. He is not talking of an evolution. It is really not given to us anywhere. How has involution really taken place? Yes, you say involution and that kind of a thing, but by what process, in what steps, in what manner the involution has taken place, the detail, the process, those are not given anywhere at all of evolutionary ladder. They are not there at all anywhere, you see. You assume that there is an evolution. This is a descent of consciousness. How in the occult way it has come down and disappeared. See, the mother stories tells in a very quick manner that the four powers separated from the divine origin and became their opposite. That is the story of creation. The four powers separated from the divine, their source, and became opposite. Now that is a very quick kind of a description. It does not tell how things have happened on the way while coming down, in what manner, what details those things are there. Those details are not given at all anywhere, not even in Savitri that manner you see. What we have in great detail are the other aspects of evolution and not of the involution. So perhaps Shivenu may have to write Savitri again to describe the process of involution. To describe the process of involution. What is the necessity of, for instance, these thousands and thousands and thousands forms of matter? There are millions and millions of stars in this creation, in the sky. What for? In what manner? What purpose they are going to do? Those details are not there, you see. Because the idea here is now, okay, this is the starting point and let us go. So that distinction has to be made there, you see. Now, Ashwapati, as we have already seen, that his soul is free from ignorance. His spirit is also free from the bondage of nature. Not only his spirit is free from the bondage of nature, but he is now the master of nature. He has the occult power now entirely under his control. He has the full knowledge and identification with Satchidananda. And he is on the border between Satchidananda and the unknowable. So, he is already in possession of the power and existence of Satchidananda. What Satchidananda is doing in this creation, what purpose it is functioning here, he is already in possession of that thing. Now, it is with that possession of Satchidananda, consciousness in him, he is going to describe this World-Stair. What for this thing, you see. So, in the knowledge, in other words, Satchidananda has the Satchidananda consciousness, Satchidananda awareness is what is going to tell you about the World-Stair, you see here. Therefore, this line begins, this section begins,